How many of you know the number of people living in poverty in your country? Hands up, please. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ren Siyu, a first-year international student studying economics in UKM. Up to now, I have been studying knowledge related to my major for 1 year. Poverty alleviation is one of the important tasks of the Chinese government and an important part of building a new socialist countryside. Since the beginning of reform and opening up, China has made remarkable achievements in poverty alleviation, with nearly 800 million rural people lifted out of poverty. Today, I'm going to talk about the three main measures of China's poverty alleviation. And the first is poverty alleviation by developing industries in educational poverty. And the second is educational poverty alleviation. And the third is targeted poverty alleviation policy. Firstly, I will introduce the poverty alleviation by developing industry. Firstly, industrial poverty alleviation is an important aspect of China's poverty alleviation work. The Chinese government has helping impoverished areas to increase their incomes and improve farmers' living standards by adjusting the structure of agricultural industry and developing industries such as specialty agricultural products and rural tourism. For example, the Chinese government encourages poor areas to develop agricultural products and royalty industries to increase the added value and the sales profits of agricultural products. The government provides training and financial support to help farmers learn processing techniques and improve product quality. Moreover, the Chinese government has actively promoted the development of rural e-commerce, selling agricultural products through the internet to broaden farmers' sales channels and improve the competitiveness of products. The government also supports farmers in building rural e-commerce service centers to provide service such as e-commerce integration and logistics distribution. In addition, the Chinese government encourages the development of rural tourism in poor areas by developing projects such as rural tourist attractions and homestays to provide job opportunities and increase farmers' income. The second, I will introduction educational poverty alleviation. First, poverty alleviation through education is an important part of China's poverty alleviation work. By providing free education and subsidizing poor students, the Chinese government has made great efforts to improve the education level in poor areas and help children from poor families get better education opportunities. For example, the Chinese government has implemented a 9-year free compulsory education policy to ensure that poor students can go to school free of charge and address the problem of the poor population being impoverished due to education problems. Additionally, the Chinese government has set up a special grant for poor students to finance the schooling of children from poor families. Furthermore, the Chinese government has increased its support for rural schools, improved their teachers and the infrastructure, and providing a better educational environment. A total of nearly 100 of China's schools delivering compulsory education have met the basic requirements. The number of schools in poor areas that have been connected to the internet has increased greatly. Mm, mm, Now I will introduce the third main point, targeted poverty alleviation policy. Firstly, the targeted poverty alleviation policy is the core of China's poverty alleviation work. Through big data analyze and calculation, the Chinese government divides the poor population into different levels and determines the poverty line and poverty-stricken countries for targeted poverty alleviation. For example, the Chinese government has established a national poverty-stricken population database through census and calculation, which accurately captures the basic information of the poverty-stricken population, including name, age, family income. Another example is the Chinese government has formulated targeted poverty alleviation standards based on the living condition and the basic needs of the poor to ensure the pertinence and the effectiveness of poverty alleviation policies. The final example is the Chinese government has set up special poverty alleviation agents to organize the coordinate poverty alleviation work. At the same time, the government has set up a special poverty alleviation fund to support infrastructure construction, industrial development, and social security in poverty-stricken areas. To conclude, poverty alleviation in China is a long-term and complex process that requires the joint efforts of the government, all sectors of society. This paper introduced the measures of this speech introduced the measures of China's poverty alleviation work, including precision poverty alleviation policy, industrial poverty alleviation, education poverty alleviation. Through these measures, the Chinese government has helped people in poverty-stricken areas get rid of the poverty and become rich, achieving the goal of common prosperity. Thank you, everyone.